stood there boldly, sweating in the sun. Felt like a million, felt like number one. The height of summer, I'd never felt that strong, like a rock. I was 18, didn't have a care, working for peanuts, not a dime to spare. But I was leaning, solid everywhere, like a rock. My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firmly to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. Still believed in my dreams. Now, where'd they go? 20 years, I don't know. I sit and I wonder sometimes where they've gone. And sometimes late at night, ghostly white, and I recall, like a rock,
time of your Sunday to come out here and celebrate a celebration of a career for a very special young lady. I'll lead it off and talk a little bit from the fire department point of view. I think we have some people from labor that want to talk a little bit too. It's hard to get people from labor to talk at all. I know that's Chris, Pat or Pedro to talk, but anyway, it's been my pleasure to know Crystal as a professional firefighter since 1991. I think 1990, 1991. Crystal as a firefighter was aggressive, tenacious, hard-headed, kicked down a lot of doors, was a tip of the spear, as we like to say. As an engineer, she took a lot of pride in her job knowledge. You could always count on her to run the pump well, to get there on time, get there safely, but she was a good, aggressive engineer. And then as a company officer, that's when I think she really flourished. I had the pleasure of working many calls when she was at 960 or 910. Yeah, one of those 260 stations over there, or 60 trucks. When I was at North Deputy, I had the honor to run a lot of calls with her. And she expected a lot of herself, and she delivered. She demanded a lot of her crews, but nothing that she hadn't done before. It was, as you know, and Pete and Pat will talk a little bit about labor, but as a labor trustee and representative and a leadership within 493, it was an honor working with her as management because she was always fair and she was logical and rational, still fighting for her boys and girls. And it's just an honor to work with her. I've known her family for, I think, longer than 1991. I've known Dixie forever, and it was just, you know, it was an honor to watch her come on as a entry-level firefighter and just blossom into one of our leaders. She always led from the front, and that's what we expect our successful company officers to do. And when she faced adversity, I like to say that she handled adversity with style and grace, but she basically smashed it in the mouth, kicked his ass, and walked all over it. And we wouldn't expect it anything less. So, on behalf of Fire Chief Garrett Cockratter, the command staff that has a tremendous amount of respect for you, and your men and women that are riding the fire trucks today, thank you very much for an outstanding career. And here's a little flip wallet that might get you out of a speeding ticket. And Chris, who's next? Where's Chris?
Thanks, Chip. It's an honor to be here with my good friend. And I've known Crystal, I think, since around 1977. So long before her career. And she's always been a sweetheart and tough as nails. But you talk about someone having your back. She's been super. She's been through a lot, and you know, it's been a long ride and a lot of fun. I don't know of a bigger supporter for the fire department or for the union or for the community in general than Crystal. I could tell you some stories, but it's probably best not in front of everybody.
I like the last one I told you.
But she's an amazing lady. I'll let Pete out a few.
Tenacious. Anyone that has known Crystal for more than a few hours knows about her tenacity. I was actually lucky enough. I actually met Crystal way back in the Little League, Madison Park baseball days. I mean, it goes all the way back. And then she came and wanted to get out of the fire department and did an outstanding job for years. We actually got to work together. She was my engineer for a long time. And I don't know, for some of you that may not know, she didn't just break down doors. She actually broke a few glass ceilings as well. She was the first female to come out #1 on the captain's task. That's pretty awesome. But she was really involved, and she was on the executive board. She went and did a peer trainer thing. She went through the academy with the recruits. She was on the board for taking care of making sure that they got a fair shake, and then some, and then some, and she's really been really tenacious. And I understand Austin's taking his interview tomorrow, so if he's going to carry it on. Anyway, we've had a long time knowing each other and watching you, and it's just been spectacular. Thank you for everything you've done for this organization, the men and women of the Phoenix Fire Department, and the community. Thank you, Chris. So this is a plaque for, just in recognition and appreciation of your years of contribution and dedicated service to the United Phoenix Firefighters Association. Thank you. Okay. Well, I'm done talking anyway, so somebody else can take this.
Andy, come on up. This is, we were trying to figure out, when you go to Crystal's house, she had her turnout gear sitting by her front door, and also just she's Gary Johnstone in thought right now. But so anyway, she had her turnout gear right by her front door, and I go, Crystal, why don't you just put that in the cabinet? It kind of smells a little bit. She goes, no, I like every time I go into my house, seeing my turnout gear, and just remember the life I had. And I'm kind of thinking, going, you always will have that life, and she's going to keep her gear by her front door. So, kind of talking to the guys and talking to my man Dorian, how can I get a turnout locker out of one of the fire stations? So we went up there and tried to dismantle one out of one of the stations. Not Chief Lisa, this is confidential here. And we figured it would be kind of obvious of missing turnout lockers, so we figured we'll kind of get one from the factory, and they're very accommodating since they sell a lot of turnout lockers in the city of Phoenix. So the only thing that really wasn't attached was an axe, so we ended up getting the axe off a 910 that you used over those years. And people in there, and it's all cleaned up like dog knows would like, and never be used again, so it always stayed pristine. And then we ended up having, a lot of people in Battalion HC shift. We really enjoyed having you over there, and we always thought we had a great battalion, especially when you're over there on Engine 910. And so your boys went around to all the Battalion HC shift and had them sign the plate. Now when you go into your house, you'll see your turnout gear, and then you'll see the names on the plates that you'll always be in everybody's hearts. So you've had a heck of a career, Crystal, and you will always be remembered. And that's one thing that anybody that leaves a department that they love, you don't want to fade off. Crystal will never be faded off. People always remember you as an outstanding individual and an outstanding fire captain. You did it right. Nice job.
Better sit down. Freddie, thank you so much. Like Pete said, we've known each other a long, long time. I had a crush on him when I was 9 years old. He's also the one that told me when I graduated in 1978, when they started hiring shortly thereafter, that I was interested, and he said, hell no. There ain't no women on this job. So, as you can tell, he changed his mind, as did I. Instead of young and dumb. Turn it up. You're deaf, Dad. Anyway, I was supposed to be here today for my father. He's a lifelong sheriff's posse member, and which is why I wore my jeans, thinking I'd get a hot cowboy somewhere. But yes, I've been absolutely shocked.
I told her that I was retiring and whatnot. We're going to have a big party and went, oh, Dad, I want to be there. Maybe there'll be a hot cowboy I can marry. Jesus Christ, Crystal, you want a cowboy? They're all broke. Dad, we're going to rope for the last dollar. But really great that you all came. and with those fire trucks sitting out there, she's about like me, duh.
I thought you fell off your horse.
Thank you all for coming, and don't leave, we got a lot of beer and wine and food. Arthur Vorpeak's out there, he thinks he's a good cook, and he is. So, help yourselves.
Thanks, Daddy. I have to go on. I'm shocked. As you all know, I went through a lot, and I didn't plan to retire. I think that's why it's been so hard. My last day was December 30th, and of course I wanted a retirement, but I had, as my family knows, 2 surgeries in 2 months, and I didn't want to be seen or walking away that way, so I just let it go, and then I show up here tonight, and I see what I've been telling my boys for 25 years, that this isn't just a job. This is a family. These aren't just co-workers. These are people that will be by your side no matter what. Every 3rd year, they spent Christmas at the station. I was a single parent. Every 3rd year was Thanksgiving. And again, after my accident, which I obviously don't remember, but my entire family saying that parking lot in that hospital was full of hundreds of navy blue shirts. And prior to that accident, I enjoyed the 20 years of it. I loved every moment of it. I lived for it. But the last 5 years has shown what a family is truly all about. And I thank you. And I love each and every one of you. I'm sure everybody here, we've run calls together. We've got some crazy memories to share. And I can never thank you enough. And being here tonight just proves that I shouldn't have even thought about walking away from any of you. I'll be remembered of who I was, not what happened. Thank you.